This is how you adjust your handbrake on the EF Falcon, probably the same for EL as well. Some people adjust it at the handbrake adjusting nut by the driver's seat there. But if you want to do it properly, you have to come to the back wheels and do it from here, then go and adjust your handbrake. I had no more adjustment on my one, which was a real pain. Obviously it's been stretched. So the other way is, some people go up under here. Probably not going to be able to see there's a wheel there that you can use your screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and turn it, and it's the opposite way for for the other sides. On this one, to adjust it out, to grab more, you want to turn that wheel down on the passenger side. Pretty sure that's, I had to play around with both sides to realise that they were going the opposite ways. And the other side, you're turning up because it's facing the other way. Anyway, I took my calipers off. My discs. I've had them off a few times. Don't over adjust it because you'll never get the disc back on and off. It's a real pain in the ass. So don't try and wiggle these off the same, like nice and even. The first time they come off, they're not going to be easy unless you're lucky. But mine were a pain in the ass. I had to hit them with a hammer all the way around on the flat quite a few times. I put an absolute tiny amount of WD-40 on here through the holes when they were still on and let that soak in for a bit. But before I finally actually got it off, one side was harder than the other. And there it is there. That's the adjusting for making the shoes go in and out. There looks like there's tons of pad left on these. As far as I'm aware, that looks like a lot. It's only a handbrake after all. So I had to take my calipers and sorry, I got the flu. This is here, the bracket for the calipers. And then, so you grab your screwdriver and either adjusting it by flicking it out just slowly, clicking it out this way, or you go through the hole, grab it and flick down like that. Just a little bit at a time, and then try them back on and try and, like I said, get the discs on evenly. Like put the drum back over and nice and even and wiggle it, because otherwise it'll get stuck and it'll be a pain in the ass to get off. As you can tell, it chipped a bit of mine, but I'm not really worried about that. So yeah, I did the same here. There's the rubber on the floor if you want to do it that way. I've cleaned it all up. The reason I took them off is because I wanted to inspect them as well. So I cleaned them up, sandpaper, and I didn't blow all the dust around, but I just, sort of did the best I could with cleaning. I haven't got any brake cleaner either, but that's okay. And I need the light. So I had absolutely no adjustment left on my handbrake, and the nut was spinning down the bottom, so someone in the past had already wound it down as much as they could. So there's nothing I could do. I think at the moment I'm only getting about 5 clicks. It probably grabs really good on about 5, as much as it's going to. You can probably pull it up to about 6. So the disc's off the back, so that's why it's going to keep going up. But if I have to now, I can just adjust it a wee bit more up here. But it seems like maybe these are just not as good as some modern cars where you pull them up 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks even, and it just grabs straight away. This one starting to grab the wheels too much, so it's not going to get any less. It's like 5 or 6 clicks is the minimal I can get it, because otherwise it's just grabbing. So I had to cut that old nut off and put another one on in a little spacer to get a couple of clicks, but yeah, now it's starting to be a right pain. I think that'll do though. I'll give it a try. It's still spinning. You just don't want to over tighten it where you can't move the drum. You want to be able to spin it and still listen to it grabbing. But I haven't, it'll probably adjust itself as well when you go for a little drive. just pull the handbrake up, pull it down a couple of times, come back to it, make sure it's still, I'm only doing this with one hand, but I can still hear it rubbing, and I don't want to underdo it. And you don't want to hear that squeaking noise when you're driving either. Other way. Oh, it's off. Yeah, you don't want to hear that squeaking noise where it's rubbing. You have to come back and adjust it. But I've left some up at the front. They say you should always come to the back and do these first, so don't just adjust it at the front and be lazy. Just come down here, and that way you can see if you need new pads, or you can just adjust the wheel. Yeah, that's it. And just, you're going to put all this back together now.